with in the game?
Some more. I'm always gonna be the first answer if you ask me about ladies in comedy because she is definitely a road comic. She's proven she's tour worthy. She goes out every year. She takes her own tour. She either hosts or headlines and brings other hitters with her, but she's still the queen of that show. So some more, I rock with her 100%. I think Wanda Sykes is brilliant when it comes to the funny. On the rise, we got two of them here that are really blazing their trail, which is Just Niche and Corey Bell, two funny ladies. Just Hilarious is doing her thing. Tiffany Haddish is my friend and is funny. Lunell is a fool. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Cheryl Underwood, when she go hard, you can't top her. Ellen DeGeneres is hilarious to me.
You said you didn't mention Monique.
Monique is funny too. I got to get to the. I could do the whole Queens of comedy. Then Monique, Adele Gibbons, my sister. I'll just give you. I could go down the list. Miss Laura. They was all Queens of comedy. But as far as that I'm seeing out here that's doing it, that's still on the road constantly. Some more is number one on that list.
So, do you think that they get the proper credit they deserve? You see Monique going through her legal battle with Netflix right now over compensation. I see a lot of comics in solidarity. I heard both men and female. How do you feel about that?
I 100% feel like women deserve equal or even greater compensation for what they do, because if anybody follows any type of comedy scenario, if you go to a comedy club or a comedy concert, look in the audience and see who's out there. It's the women that are supporting this industry. When I do my shows, you never see 5 guys, hey man, we finna look up and go to the comedy club. But it'll be 10 girls, at a table celebrating their girl birthday or a bachelorette, doing their thing. Or just 2 of them, you know what I'm saying? Or one that don't have nobody else, you know what I'm saying? I've had many individual females just sit at the front of the show and just come laugh because she don't have a date, but she came out and do a thing. So they definitely should get compensated because their voices are important, especially if the demographic is predominantly women, especially in our culture. Black women, that's who support comedy. So I think Monique is justified in asking for more money. I don't think she, and it's not for me to say because you put your own price and you know what you're worth to yourself. But Amy Schumer at the time was, selling out arenas. So for her to compare what they was paying her, that don't make sense. That'd be like me saying, well, I tell as many jokes as Dave Chappelle. Well, I ain't get 20 million for my special because you ain't motherfucking Dave Chappelle.
But if you felt as though you were funnier than Dave Chappelle, would you have a right to say it?
Not if I couldn't sell the tickets.
Fair.
Numbers. Yeah.
If you can't sell the tickets, if you can't get the views, and I'm not saying Monique couldn't,
right.
But if one person got 20 million followers versus somebody with 500,000, that's how the money is compensatory, I believe.
It's fair. I know I've heard you on interviews say you ain't gonna bring it up anymore, so I'll be respectful and not bring up the incident in particular. But I wanted to know, both of you being from Chicago, have you and Corey Holcomb pieced everything up?
100%, and it happened organically. Well, actually, he was performing at the Savoy, and I just happened to be in the audience, and he just happened to go up. And Chris Spencer was hosting. He's like, "Man, I'm about to bring Corey up." I'm like, "Yeah, cool." So I come out the club, and he had just finished, and he saw me, and he's like, "Man, let me holler at you, dog, and just take my number, let's chop it up." So then, we didn't really follow up on that, but then what did it was we were both, along with a lot of us, at John Witherspoon's memorial. And so at that memorial, even DC Curry was like, man, you need to squash that bull, blah, blah, blah. But Corey came up to me and said, man, from man to man, if I, cross the line with you somehow, if I offended you, blah, 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 as a man, I'm going to say I apologize. Let's squash that life too short. And we did a video, and that video is on, it was on my Facebook or somewhere, Instagram, but we chopped it up, So, I mean, it ain't like, it never happened, but we good. So, yeah, so we've worked together since then. Matter of fact, we had a show for All-Star Weekend here in Chicago. So and people ask me who's funny from Chicago, I will mention Corey Holcomb because he's one of the, and I forgot to do it just now, but I did it in an early interview today because he's a brilliant comic as well. In his lane, he does what he does. So shouts out to Chicago. I'm Team Chi-Town, Chicago, be everywhere.
Yeah. How do you feel about joke thieves? We had a number of comedians. They all had a lot of different things to say about it. I want to get your opinion on people reusing comedians' jokes.
First of all, I don't condone it, of course. But, a lot of times it's a person might be influenced by another comedian, or it might be a common premise, and you can't really claim a common premise if you're talking about I had an argument with my wife. Well, he had an argument with his wife, and it might not be the same thing. Now, if somebody take your bit and do it verbatim, I've had some of my jokes used in verbatim. Uh, I just say, okay, run with that because I'm gonna do more jokes because you shouldn't be stuck on your current material. Like right now, and D-Ray said this today on his live from, well, I guess it was from yesterday, being in Arlington Improv. You shouldn't even be doing your old jokes right now. If you come out of this pandemic and this quarantine and you've been locked down and ain't been on the mic in 4 months and you come right back out where you left off with them same jokes, then you're not really respecting the craft. So you shouldn't really be worried about who stole the joke. You should give them those jokes because at some point you could retire a joke. But if a person consciously steals somebody's material, then you bogus, but it happens. And sometimes it happens under the radar. It might be a person that is doing something regionally, and that guy's the bomb in that region, but he don't get out of that area. And the headliner come through and snatch that and ended up on the Netflix special. And this guy don't have no claim to it because he hasn't done it on a notable scale. So it used to be the law was the first one to take a joke to TV, that's your joke. So if you put it on Comic View, ain't nobody gonna do it because it made it to Comic View. Now I don't know what the honor code is. Social media is so prevalent that people are definitely looking to create content whatever way they can. So it might be taking somebody else's premise or taking somebody's joke and making a skit out of it. Tyler Perry did a lot of that. In his earlier projects, we heard a lot of our stuff, incorporated in the Tyler Perry movie. And I'm not saying he specifically did. He might have had writers who did what they did, but that definitely took place. But like Richard Pryor said, once you tell a joke, it's no longer yours anymore.
That's interesting. That's definitely interesting. Let's switch and transition to hip hop a little bit. Who Damon Williams listening to? Who's he having his on his Apple Music or his Tidal or things like that? Who you listening to?
Man, I'm old head with it. But I'm for real. Like I'm really just coming into what J. Cole is on the current side is dope. JID. I mess with my stuff is stuff like Talib Kweli and Common, Kanye, a lot of Biggie.
Chicago to a T.
No, a lot of Biggie, man. But Jay Electronica, the one he just dropped with Jay-Z is dope to me. And I listen to everything that's out there though, because I'm constantly trying to keep my ear to it. But if I get 3 songs in or even 3 verses in and everybody getting killed and and they get flexing their diamonds and they taking the pills and they selling the coochie because it was one song this chick was like, she's like, my nigga ain't shit and I ain't either. And I was like, where are we going with this?
Yeah.
So I try. You know how you want to be up, because like I said, I'm the OG, so I don't want to be lost to it. But it's a lot of stuff out here that I just can't sit through. It is not working with my vibe.
Did you catch Kanye West's thing yesterday, his little rant, by any chance?
Let's before we laugh, let's just pray for Kanye West, man, because it's obviously a serious issue with that brother, man. And it's diagnosed. It's got to be, I've heard bipolar, things of that nature, and that's not even a bipolar episode. It's over the top. But he's a genius, and see, everybody knows that every genius that you can think of has a darker side or a quirky side, and it just so happened that 2 of them from Chicago got the worst. We got Kanye with the cuckoo and R. Kelly with the bullshit. So, but they both geniuses, man. So. We're going to pray for Kanye. We're not going to vote, but I hope he do a convention because I know that it's going to be lit. The Kanye convention going to be outdoors. They're going to have on them little regular clothes. It's going to be gospel, hip-hop, barbecue,
Now, speaking of the R. Kelly thing, we knew a few people from Chicago, and it seemed like the consensus was that a lot of people already knew what was going down. You being from Chicago, did people around you know what was going down? Was it like word in the street before it hit the fan?
Not specifically around me, but I know he was always on something. Like there was times when you would come to the club, and it's one particular club, the Cotton Club, and the DJ booth was upstairs, and it was this dark stairwell, but it was a plush spot, and the DJ booth had blacked out windows. And if you was cool, if you was somebody in town, you come in, you go up, chop it up with the DJ, they give you your shout out, blah blah blah. So I used to always go up there and kick it with the DJs. So one time I got there and 2 of his boys was on the door, and it was like, you can't go up there right now, Rob. He on one right now. So his boys knew what he did. You know what I'm saying? Now that was a 21 and older club. So whoever he was on one with either was old enough or had an ID. But I knew you had to be on some freak thing. If you can't make it, you can't wait till I knew he was a freak. Put it that way. You can't just take it, to the crib. No, bro, I'll be at one on the stairs right now. So it's a bogus scenario, man, and I'm making light of it. But I've heard direct stories of some of the, just the environment of the house, which the house that all of these things took place is a bike ride away from me. I usually ride my bike over to that community. I'm on the other side of the tracks of it, but I got a show called Laugh Tonight with Damon Williams on Urban Flicks. If it pop off, I might move over across the tracks on Rob's side because he don't live there no more.
We had our man Faison Love on maybe last week or a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about R. Kelly a little bit. And he said there's no way in hell R. Kelly was doing what they said he was doing out in Chicago because Chicago people would not allow that. He'd be gone already. What do you think about that?
Faison is not from Chicago, so he can't speak on what Chicago would do. I put it that way for sure. Yeah. It wasn't like it was blatant. Like we didn't see the bro walking around. Like you see Rob at the club, but you didn't see, who he had. So he had it at the house. How he was doing it, it was low key. So it wasn't like we condoned it or looked the other way because it was Robert Kelly. But he came out, he had his squad, and it was grown cats, and it was VIP, and it was 21 and older. So, that's all my personal experience with. And our birthdays are like day apart. So we've had situations where, it might be his birthday party or it might be a birthday event I had, but I never witnessed him with underage girls personally.
Did you know him at all? No?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Dope. Definitely. Well, we appreciate your time. I don't got too many more questions for you, but I definitely want to ask you a couple more. Your shirt, say their names.
Yes, sir.
Speak on that, brother.
The police brutality issue, man, like I said, my son had me already woke